Guys, there's no difference between what they're trying to roll on us and what we left out in. We always had this illusion of freedom, this make-believe freedom. There is no difference between what we had, and I mean what the whole world really was under. There's no difference between monarchy and communism. When you're under monarchy, you're subject to the king. When you're under communism, you are subject to the state. When you're under monarchy, you are own nothing. Everything is owned by the king. When you're under communism, everything is owned by what? The state. There is no difference. There is no difference. It's two sides of the same coin, just like the left and the right paradigm. They are two sides of the same coin, you guys. And the crazy thing about it is most people can't even fathom what's coming. Most people can't even really fathom or really even understand what's coming. Because the bottom line is, when you've been so indoctrinated, when you've been so brainwashed, it's sort of hard to, I guess it's hard to come out of that situation when you think you're on the right path, when you think you're doing the right thing, when your mind has been so warped away from the truth and away from reality, you can't even see what's really in front of you. As the old saying goes, you can't see the forest from the trees, and this is true. The tree is the individual, the forest is collective. If you think about it, just think about it. The forest is a clump of trees. A tree is an individual tree, like I have in my yard, like you may have in your yard. But you guys, there's no difference between monarchism and communism, worldless and all of that. I mean, I was watching, God, man, I can't remember, but this asshole, because that's what he was to me when he said that. He's an ass. When you have a mindset like that, when you think you're so much better than someone else. This guy, I guess he was the king. I guess it was King Alfred, I guess. He said, my mother doesn't deserve to be around those peasants. She has royalty blood. Y'all know how I felt about that. You guys know how I felt about that. Yeah, I was hot. I was hotter than the firecracker on 4th of July, baby. I was hot. But that just shows you their mindset. Even though it was a show, that just shows you their mindset. If I can remember the show, I can't remember the show right now. Gosh. But yeah, that's what he said. And you don't realize that they thought like that. And hell, even some politicians still think like that. I can give you a prime example, man. There was a quote from this asshole. His name was Boris, I think it was Boris Johnson. I think he was Boris Johnson out of England. Yeah, that funny looking dude. He said he wish he was back in the 12th or the 13th century. He can just grab a peasant and say, shut up, peasant, and get over here and chop your head off. That is what your politicians think of you. Can you believe that people really still think like that? That's why I always try to tell you guys. They want to get back to that total control. That's all that it's about. That's all that it is about. You being subjugated and slaves to them. It's not about nothing else, you guys. It's not about nothing else. It's about just you being subjugated to them. And they want to rule and reign over your life, and you being subjugated and slaves to them. They sit around, they eat. Have any one of y'all out there noticed? Out of all, sit back and just notice. The people who do the most work have the least, and the people who do the least work have the most. There is no difference. There is no difference. The king discharged you taxes. You live better than anyone. You peasants and serfs, you barely make it day to day. Your government charged you taxes. They live fine. When they get in the government, they live great. Ivory towers, millions of dollars within a few years. They don't have to worry about nothing. But you that pay the taxes, you live like a peasant and a serf. Check to check. Not everyone. But I'm saying majority, majority does. So why is the one that does the work have less and the one that sit on their ass have more? See what I'm saying? There is no difference. There is no difference, you guys. There is no difference. So once when you realize this, man, you had to come to yourself and come to your senses and say there is no difference. If there was any difference, you would see the difference. Like I said, communism, your property of the state. Monarchism, your property of the king. There is no difference. No difference at all. Just think about it. Because you want to know why? It's just food for thought.